Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Pop and Culture Podcast, episode 227. I'm Adrian.
I'm Jay.
We're back for another week of rants.
Yeah.
Just things.
At this point, that's just what it is.
And it's been so long, we have so much to say. Before we get into the beer, I have some exciting news about this.
Okay.
Pop and Culture Podcast has been rated the #1 podcast my wife listens to.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
little.
It's a seal of approval I can get behind.
There you go. And I know what some of you guys are saying. She's your wife. Isn't that obvious? You're clearly not married. If that's the statement you're making, that is clearly not obvious.
To be fair, my wife has never listened to an episode.
And you see why it's so important? So, little seal of approval.
All right. So now we're getting into the alcohol.
Yes. I bought a 6-pack. I'm hoping that we can get through 2 of these.
I think that should be easy.
Because I could use a drink or 2.
Uh-huh.
This is the Goose Island Face beer, which is their Oktoberfest beer. So it's a toasted bready malt.
I did not realize that they had breweries in 3 locations.
I did not know that either.
Chicago,
Duh.
Baldwinsville, New York. Yeah, New York. That's
Okay.
bad typography. And Fort Collins, Colorado.
Oh, I have to go visit all these. So this is a Marzen beer inspired by the classic style.
You are suddenly on a Marzen kick.
So that is why I chose this specific
Okay.
beer for 2 reasons. 1, Goose Island is one of my top 5 favorite breweries. And 2, because I had a coffee Marzen when I was in Tampa.
Yes.
Yes. And really all it
that
is
opener from you?
is just a Belgian red ale.
Yeah.
So let's not.
I did do my research on it afterwards. I'm like, okay, so yeah, it's just, it's a Belgian red ale, but you're only allowed to brew it during certain months of the year, according to the regular schedule, and one of those just happens to be March. That's when they start the process, is in March.
So let's give this a go. Color looks good. See how it tastes.
It's delightful.
It is. It's a good Oktoberfest beer. Goose Island, you did not fail me again.
And they did it in the German style, so it's very, what they call, actually this is more of a Belgian term, klar. So there's not any cloudiness in it. You can see right through it.
Yes, I can.
It looks very good.
All right. And my glasses are clean. Little tip. If you see bubbles clinging to the side instead of rising, it's a dirty glass.
Oh.
Yeah, don't look. Because ever since I learned that, I look. And goddamn, it is almost every glass dirty.
Well, I'm just imagining that certain establishments that I frequent will probably be more likely to have dirty glasses than others.
No, don't say that about the Anchor.
Not the Anchor. I mean, actually, yeah, probably the Anchor too.
Yeah, and Soundview.
Soundview mostly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how you been, buddy?
I've been good. I've been busy. I've been watching a lot of TV.
Good.
It's that time of year.
It is. Like, all the shows are back.
Oh, and then there's the new shows.
There's the new shows.
Yeah.
I haven't even started most of my new shows, but let's hear what you've been watching.
All right, so this is kind of I'm not going to go like super detailed into episodes, but pretty much since we've been, last time we recorded, a lot of my shows that I watched previously are back. So The Voice is back, Family Guy's back, Bob's Burgers is back, Gotham's back, This Is Us is back, The Big Bang Theory is back.
Yes.
Those are all the ones that are back so far that I've watched. There's a couple more that are back. Supergirl's back, I haven't watched it yet. Flash is back, I haven't watched it yet. A couple things that I haven't watched yet. As far as new shows.
Okay, yeah, this is what I'm curious about. What's your new shows?
So I watched Tin Star, which I don't remember if I had started that last time we recorded or not. Okay, I have now finished it.
Okay.
It's kind of funny because it's produced by Sky Atlantic in the UK.
That's what you were saying.
They've only aired 5 episodes so far. But right as they were airing episode 4, Amazon had the whole season up because they were a co-producer. So I've now watched all of it on Amazon Prime. But I'm still getting notifications like, oh, episode 6 on tomorrow. I'm like, I don't care. Great fucking show. Like, there's
definitely worth it, is what you're saying?
There are things that happen in there that I did not see coming at all. And when I figured it out, I'm like, oh, that's a cool twist. So I definitely recommend that. 10 episodes. It's all up on Amazon Prime right now. I've also been watching The Deuce, which I don't know if you know this one.
No.
I want to say Showtime, maybe HBO, starring James Franco and James Franco.
Okay, I've seen a trailer for it, and it looks fucking hilarious.
I mean, there's funny parts. It's not a comedy. It's definitely, I would say it's like a dramedy.
Sure.
Yeah. It's also got Maggie Gyllenhaal in it, but it's all about New York in the 70s when pornography and prostitution was briefly legalized. Well, pornography is still, but prostitution briefly legalized.
The heyday of New York, as we call it.
Yeah.
Right.
But so it's kind of all about how, people living in the city at that time kind of reacted to that. Maggie Gyllenhaal plays a prostitute. James Franco plays twin brothers who kind of get in with the mafia a little bit.
Right.
So really interesting. It's only, I want to say it's 5 episodes in now. It's on Sunday nights. I think this last Sunday was the 5th episode. Really good. So I've been enjoying that one. What else did I start? Ghosted.
Oh, I haven't started that yet.
Okay, so I've only seen the first episode. There's 2 out so far. I watched the first one. It was all right.
Because out of those 2, I expect really good.
I think it will get better. I think the problem is it's only a half-hour show. So on the first episode, they kind of just threw you right into it. So I think it's going to unfold a little bit more as it goes. But,
for those of you who aren't familiar, it's Adam McKay and Craig Robertson.
Yes. And Adam McKay is a scientist who was discredited when he claimed that his wife was abducted by aliens. And then Craig Robertson was a detective, and his partner ends up getting killed in the line of duty, and he ends up getting kicked off the force or resigns or something like that. Now he's like a security guard in a Borders or something, or in a mall. And then there's this secret agency who one of their agents gets kidnapped, and as he's getting kidnapped, his last transmission is, find these 2 guys, they'll be able to help me. And they have no clue what's going on. They don't know this guy.
Interesting.
At all.
Okay.
So the agency just kind of goes and kidnaps them and says, hey, you're going to work for us now. So definitely an interesting show. I'm excited to see how that one unfolds. I started watching Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Almost done with season 1. Watching it with the wife. It's effing hilarious.
Right? Okay.
So the last one we watched was the first one with the Council of Ricks and Evil Morty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then what else?
So you haven't got to SEAL Team Rick yet?
No, not yet.
I love SEAL Team Rick.
Yeah. And then I Superstore came back, watched that. And then I started the 2 new Marvel shows, Inhumans and The Gifted.
Okay.
The Inhumans reminds me a lot of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. so far.
Is it as bad as everyone says it is?
It's close.
Okay.
It's interesting for me watching Serinda Swan on there, which is the actress that played Zatanna in Smallville. So she's on there. She's got like red hair now. It's shaved because she's Medusa.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why they shaved Medusa so quickly.
Yeah. Also, that was like one of the lamest. Oh, we're totally going to destroy your powers with these barber's clippers.
Yeah,
I'm like,
well.
I mean, I get it, but yeah. The Gifted is really good, though.
Is it?
Yeah, the first episode of that was really, really good. The second episode was a little lower in quality, but still pretty good. It's interesting to see which characters from the X-Men universe they're pulling in.
So what I've heard is that out of any Marvel original TV show, it's been the best.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
Like I said, I gave up on Agent Shield after like 4 or 5 episodes. Didn't even try Agent Carter.
Oh. I did.
Which I heard that was better than Agents of Shield. Everybody liked that one better.
Not by much, buddy.
Okay.
Not by much.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
That's like saying, yeah, okay, fine. Coors Original is better than Budweiser, but not by much.
Fair enough. Yeah, as far as the ones that are on actual like cable channels, not like Netflix, I would say Gifted is probably definitely.
So do you think Daredevil is better than Gifted?
Yes. Okay, and we've had this discussion. I really enjoyed Daredevil.
Yes,
I know you
did.
didn't as much.
I did not.
I also really enjoyed Jessica Jones. Which, did you ever watch that? I don't remember.
I started it.
Okay. I would say this is probably on par with Jessica Jones for me as far as my taste. But yeah, they've got who do they have in there? They have Warpath, Thunderbird. I don't remember which is called.
Really?
Yeah. They've got Polaris is one of the main characters.
Yeah, and I hear that they really push heavy on the fact that she's Magneto's daughter.
No.
Oh, really?
No, I don't know if they've brought it up.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. If they did, it was maybe in passing, but no.
Okay.
Blink is in there.
Blink?
Yeah, right? Like that was kind of a shocker to me.
Okay.
But But yeah, they've got a couple other characters that are just kind of there.
And do they use their names, or is it just kind of like their likeness and their real names, and you know that's Warpath?
I don't think they've. I don't remember if they've called him Warpath or not. They definitely have said his real name and his powers. I don't know if they've used his code name. They've used Polaris' code name, and I think they've said Blink.
Okay.
I don't even remember what Blink's actual name is now.
Nobody does. It's inconsequential.
I think it is just Blink. I think that's all this shit ever been called. So,
Because she came from Age of Apocalypse, right?
Yes.
And I think at that point it was just Blink.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she was one of the starring characters in Exiles for a long time.
Sure.
So I don't remember if they actually.
How could we forget that?
Yeah. It was actually a really good series when that iteration of it was pretty good. But then, yeah, you've got the main kids are, as far as we know, not really anybody from the comics. They're made for the show. And then they made a reference to some other characters that were supposedly in the comics, but they never actually used their names. It was, I don't know. Anyways, It's enjoyable. I like it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Only 2 episodes so far.
I was a little bit of a tangent. I have a Xavier School for the Gifted hoodie.
Okay.
And on the back it has the crest.
Yep.
And on the front it just has the X, and that's all it is. I'm in the hotel elevator, and some old man goes, "Well, where's this school at?" And I was all like, "New York." And he's like, "Well, what constitutes a gifted child?" And I was like, children who have the ability to go surpass normal people. And he was just like, "Oh, what an interesting concept." And I'm just like, how long can I keep Like how long? And it was like, elevator dings. I'm like, I gotta just go. I just gotta just go.
Yeah, that would have been great if you kept going with that.
Yeah, but where do you go from there, right? Well, the first class, Scott Summer. Like, yeah, come on.
It's really all about integration of people who are treated differently, people that society doesn't understand.
They're just not like us.
Our benefactor, he's handicapped, so he understands what it's like to be slightly different.
Yeah, depending on how he was handicapped, I guess. Sometimes it was a spear through his spine. Sometimes he was born that way. Like, depends on who you talk to.
Occasionally, he just gets up and walks. It's crazy. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for me, TV.
Okay.
What have you gotten?
So, like you said, most of the shows are back. Still waiting on what?
It's just there's so many shows now.
So many shows. Brooklyn Nine-Nine came back strong.
Okay.
I really liked the first Superstore episode. Or both of them.
Yeah, they were both
They're both great. Dynamite.
Yeah, my wife and I were just cracking up at them.
Jess and I both lost our shit at the second episode where they built the fake aisle in the store.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. Bob's Burgers only done one episode. It was and
it was so fucking weird.
So I want to talk about this really fast because I think the idea is an awesome idea.
Absolutely.
I do not like the execution.
No.
So the concept was they let their fans animate this episode.
Okay, so I was trying to figure this out. Did the fans actually animate it, or did they send in drawings and the animation team animated it based on the style of the drawing?
As I understood it, the fans actually animated it, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
But it was not very cohesive.
No.
All the art was very different, and I feel like because of it, the story felt segmented.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think it was, it felt segmented due to the art style.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a miss for me. But I can see why they tried it, and I think it's a really cool idea.
And it was definitely entertaining seeing the cast done in so many different styles.
Right.
If you were looking just at that aspect of it. But like you said, when you try to plug that in with the story, it's not so
It was a bit segmented. What else came back? American Housewife is back.
Okay.
There was one other one that came back. I was really just on the fence about its return. And obviously it was so good I remember it so well. But I do have some new shows I want to talk about.
Okay.
One, I watched the pilot episode of Mayor. Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. No.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's whatever.
It's not bad, but it's not good. It's just...
Okay. If you've run out of everything else that week, watch Mayor. If you got something else to watch, give it a pass.
All right, so I'll start it in 4 years.
I watched Kevin Possibly Saves the World.
Okay, so I keep seeing this show up on my new shows calendar.
Yes.
What is this?
So it's starting Jason Ritter.
Okay.
And he just tried to commit suicide. And he's gone to go live with his sister and her sister's daughter.
Okay.
The husband just recently died, so they're all dealing with trauma and everything else. He has a almost near-death experience, and he can now see an angel who's explaining to him that he needs to stop the upcoming apocalypse and spread love throughout. So only he can see it. So there's the tropes of him arguing with somebody who's not really there. And
Didn't this show just get canceled last year when it starred Jane Lynch?
what was that?
I don't
You think You Mean the Apocalypse? That did
know.
not have
No.
Jane Lynch.
No, that was a funny show, though.
It was a funny show.
No, Jane Lynch was in something last season or the season before where she played an angel. I don't know.
Fine.
Eh.
It's fine. Again, it falls under the same camp as Mayor. I'll watch if I got nothing else on. Definitely not on the top of my list.
Yeah.
The other new show that I watched. That's the other one that came back. The Good Place, season 2. It's been delightful. Love it.
Okay.
Stan Against Evil.
What is this?
It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Oh my god. So it's starring Janet Varney
Okay.
and the male doctor from Scrubs. The
Zach Braff?
no, the older guy who attended over everybody else.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He's always an asshole in everything he ever plays.
Yeah.
So he was the retired sheriff. His wife just died of this small community, and now Janet Varney's the new sheriff.
Okay.
So apparently, hundreds of years ago, the local constable sheriff killed a bunch of witches like Salem.
Okay.
So now the town and constables have been cursed for all like these demons that come back and try to kill the constable.
Okay.
So you find out his wife had been protecting him all these years from the occult, and now that she died, they're all coming after him and Janet Varney, the new sheriff.
Geez.
It's fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Like, it's supposed to be funny, and it's great.
Okay.
Like, the first 8 episodes all just dropped on Hulu. They're like, here's the whole thing.
Oh, is it a Hulu show?
It's not, but Hulu just dropped all 8 at once.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
We watched it in 2 days.
Okay.
Loved every minute of it.
Nice.
Been watching my wrestling, obviously.
Yeah,
We got an event coming up live I'm going to on Tuesday. And the other thing I want to talk to you about is a couple of the hot ones.
Okay.
How caught up on hot ones are you?
I have not watched Terry Crews.
Okay.
Who
What
was before him?
Wanda Sykes.
I watched that one. That's where I'm at.
Okay. So you're all caught up besides Terry Crews.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start with the Henry Rollins one. It was
Yeah.
real bad.
It was real bad.
Okay. Moving on.
So to me, okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I've never really listened to a lot of, is it Black Flag? Is that the band?
It is Black Flag.
Okay, I never really listened to a lot of Black Flag. My biggest exposure to Henry Rollins was in the VH1's I Love the 80s and I Love the 90s
Sure.
shows. He was pretty funny in those.
Yeah.
His commentary was great. And I know he's very much like a social justice warrior and that sort of thing. So then I see him on this and I'm like, this is not this character that I've known him to be.
It seems, and I like Black Flag. I like Henry Rollins. I've actually gone to see him live doing his spoken word kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like on Hot Ones, like he fucking just lost his mind. Like
Yeah.
there's some sort of medication he's supposed to be on. He was not on.
Right.
Because it was real bad.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah. So that was not a strong episode.
Yeah.
So
Kevin Durant kind of fell flat a little bit for me.
yeah, I mean it was kind of the same. I
There-
feel like a lot of the athletes that end up on there kind of just
Well, so Sean mentioned a lot. Well, Kevin Love did it. Kevin Love did
Right,
it.
right,
Fucking
right.
let it go, buddy.
yeah.
The EDM guy, whose name I don't fucking know. Asian EDM guy before Wanda Sykes.
Yeah. I remember I actually kind of enjoyed that episode
It was
myself.
it was fine. I thought Wanda Sykes killed it though.
I thought she was really funny. I was really afraid because she almost calloted it up. Because she
Oh,
gets like
yes.
3 wings in, she's like, I think I'm going to need to tap out. And then she kept going. She finished it. She cleared the plate.
She cleared the board.
I was impressed by that.
But I loved her comment of like, she's like, this is making me just fucking admit things I've never done. I fucked Kevin Hart. I'm the one who had the affair with. You're just like, this is fucking cool. I think
Yeah.
she killed it.
Yeah, that was a really good episode.
I also appreciate that she did not. So she is also a social justice warrior. Growing up a lesbian woman, pretending to be straight so much that she was married and have children,
Yep.
to now being openly gay. I thought she was going to go the route of Ellen DeGeneres, where, hey, this is my life. I'm going to force it down your throat. And she didn't. And I
No.
really appreciate that.
I mean, there was a couple comments in there about her wife, and
Sure.
that was it. No more than any other guest we've seen.
No more than any other guests we've seen. So yeah. So that is it.
So have you seen the Terry Crews one?
I have.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Okay.
I like Terry Crews.
I think he's pretty funny, yeah.
In this he's just Terry Crews.
Okay.
And he's just open and honest about everything, and it's great.
Good.
That is it for TV for me.
Okay.
I didn't do a lot of TV. I've done a metric ass ton of movies.
Okay. I've only watched one movie since we last
Okay,
talked.
what movie did you watch?
You're going to laugh at this. I watched Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Have you not seen that before?
I hadn't. It's been on the list for a while, but I knew it was one that Jess wanted to see, so I had to wait until we both had time.
Fair. What'd you think?
I thought it was enjoyable enough. I'm actually a really big fan of the Harry Potter movies themselves.
Right.
So the only reason I was interested in this because it was tangentially tied into that, and there was very, very small tie to that. But I thought for the most part it was a funny enough movie. It was, we got to see some creatures in there and some things. I don't know. It was all right. 7 out of 10.
So definitely not as good as the other Harry Potter movies.
No.
I liked the character creation. I thought they did a really good job with the character creation and like that world when they went into the briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the story felt really flat for me, and that Johnny Depp reveal at the end did not give a fuck.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Did not give. I don't need to see Johnny Depp playing the same character he always plays. Like,
right.
I just don't need it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's literally the only movie I've watched.
Okay. So I've watched 4 movies.
Okay.
I watched Blade Runner 2049.
I'm sorry.
I watched Transformers The Last Night.
Wait. Okay.
I finished The Mummy.
Whoa.
And I watched Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
Okay, that's one that I can actually see. I need to go see that one. I have my movie pass now.
You have your movie pass. Use it, man.
I know.
Use it. Okay. I have nothing to say about The Mummy.
No, you've...
Nothing to say about The Mummy. Transformers Last Night is a 2.5-hour long movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 6-hour flight.
Oh.
And it still took me 3 attempts to get through that.
That is brutal.
It was real bad. Real bad.
Yeah.
The dialogue has probably been the worst dialogue in any of the Transformer movies. And that's saying some things.
Okay.
To the point where it was a death scene. And one of the robots, Cogsman, he's this proper British, Transformer that's been around since like the King Arthur days.
Okay.
So he's very prim. He's very proper.
What is he, like a horse-drawn wagon transformer?
He doesn't transform in anything. He's just a robot.
Okay.
But yes, because you also find out that the Transformers have been around since King Arthur days.
Oh, jeez.
In fact, the Knights of the Round Table each had an Autobot assigned to them, but the Autobots combined together into a 3-headed dragon, and that's how Camelot became Camelot and just defeated everybody. Was the Transformer dragon?
Oh, why? No.
Yeah, those are things. These are all words coming out my mouth that were on a screen.
Yeah, I understand that.
It gets better because we now know that the spin-off Bumblebee movie is going to be starring John Cena.
Really?
Yeah. So it's going to be like Herbie the Love Bug.
That's terrible.
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay.
Anyway, so this Cogsworth character was Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins was a Witwickian, which we find out is the people who have preserved the knowledge of the Transformers this whole time. And he's the 12th Earl of whatever. So he's also very proper. And in his big death scene, Cogsworth, who's been prim and proper this whole time, like his final tribute was, "I've never served anybody so cool as you."
Really?
And you're just like, that's awesome. That's just great dialogue.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was real bad. Okay.
Sorry you had to sit through that.
Drix did it, and he's like, it was real bad. And I was like, well, I can't let him watch it alone, right? Like, solidarity.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049. Did you ever watch the original Blade Runner?
No.
Me either.
Yeah. The original Blade Runner's got this huge cult following. It's
really does.
Highly esteemed. And so far, everybody that I know that's gone and seen this said that's an abomination to the memory of the original.
Interesting. So I went with Jason Bogath.
Uh-huh.
I'm using his full name out there just to give you the context of who I went with.
Yeah, I understand.
I really like Jason. Jason is very meticulous.
Yeah.
Jason is very detailed oriented.
Yeah.
To give everybody who doesn't know him an example, don't get me wrong, like I really like Jason. I think he's a great guy.
But
we played it. We got bored. And I'm like, let's play this game. It's called DC. It's called Dice Masters.
Okay.
And I'm all like, just play a couple rounds. You'll figure it out, and then we'll play. He's like, well, hold on. What are the rules? How do you explain? So before we even played the game, we went 45 minutes explaining stuff and watching YouTube videos and reading the instructions.
What?
I'm like, that's not how. Trust me, it's so simplistic. None of this is gonna matter. Just dive in. Just dive. Please dive in. So he's like, I want to go watch Blade Runner. I was like, cool. Let's go watch Blade Runner. I got a movie pass. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then we find out. I didn't know. It's 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm really looking forward to this movie. I'm like, oh, are you a big Blade Runner fan? He goes, yeah, I really am. I'm like, oh, like, to what extent? Well, he owns the VHS original. He owns the DVD original, the DVD alternative ending, the Blu-ray. Apparently, there's a version. Apparently, in the movie, Harrison Ford does like a voiceover throughout the whole movie.
Okay.
But you can buy an English edition, British edition, that doesn't have that. So he owns that edition as well. Like, apparently, like, that dude motherfucker loves himself some Blade Runner.
Wow.
Like,
I would not have pictured that.
blew me. Like, I had no clue, right? I'm like, wow. Okay, let's go watch this movie. And he loved it.
Oh, sure.
He thought it was a great movie to the 2049. And as it turns out, I've talked to a couple other people who are diehard Blade Runner fans that really like 2049.
Okay.
But they're all a generation older than us.
Sure.
Everybody that I know in our generation who likes Blade Runner did not like this movie.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if there's some sort of disconnect there.
Maybe.
Like, as in, like, the original viewership versus this cultish viewership that's developed?
You know, the original movie came out in
87, I want to say.
Sure. I was 1.
Right.
Not even. 1. So, obviously, if I was to have seen it, I would have seen it years after it came out. So, I mean, it's probably the same nostalgia as the people that went and saw the very first Star Wars in the theater.
Right.
Like, I can go watch New Hope, and it's entertaining. But it's not that same visceral experience that sitting in the theater, first time it's ever happened, you don't know anything that's happening. So maybe that's kind of...
And it's possible.
Yeah.
So never watching Blade Runner, only knowing a very small portion of the mythos, I really liked this movie. Like, I really thought it was a good movie. It went on a little long, no doubt. But that's Denis Villeneuve's style. Like, that's...
Sure.
If it's one of his movies, just be ready for it.
Yeah.
And it left a lot of things open, questioned, but as I understand it, so did the original Blade Runner.
Okay.
It left a lot open. Like, so in the original one, you never find out if Harrison Ford is or is not a replicant. That's for you to decide.
Okay.
So they did a lot of that in the original one. That's very much like Denis Villeneuve's storytelling. So it was the same way in this one. They left a lot of things you're like, well, you never resolved this. Yeah, I know. That's for you to figure out. Or that's just for you to sit there and ponder because that's part of the movie. That's
sure.
And that's one of the things does him being a human or him being a replicant even matter to the story? Like, so he does a lot of that kind of stuff, you know. And I really enjoyed Blade Runner 2049.
Okay.
I liked it more than I liked The Kingsman.
Oh. Was it not so great? Because you were a big fan of the first Kingsman.
Love the first Kingsman.
Yeah.
Love the first Kingsman. I love the first Kingsman so much that I was walking through the mall and the Artist Shaving, a store that I detest, has a line of Kingsman products.
Yes.
I was like, well, I'll come take a look at it.
Right.
And then they had a fake bottle of whiskey from the Kingsman movie.
Okay.
And I was like, I want that bottle. He's like, well, it's not real whiskey. I'm like, yeah, I understand. I just want that fucking bottle. He's like, all right, well, we don't sell it. I'm like, well, when your display is done, like, fucking work with me here.
Yeah, right.
Like, I want that. So, yes, I did really like the first Kingsman.
Okay.
This movie was fun. It was still good, but it was missing something.
Okay.
Like, it almost seemed like they were trying a little too hard and were missing a couple key pieces to make it a great movie.
Yeah.
It was still good. It was still fun. It's still worth watching for sure. The most impressive thing I found out about this, the first Kingsman and this Kingsman, Colin Firth.
Yes.
They say about 90% of all of his own stunts and fighting scenes. So that church scene, that was all one shot.
Yeah.
That was all him.
Wow.
And
That's impressive.
Like, that's super fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Especially for a man in his 60s and shit.
Yeah.
You're like, all right.
All right. So John Wick 3, Keanu and Colin.
Oh my god. Kingsman Wick Edition. I would totally watch the shit out of that movie.
We find out that the Kingsmen are actually part of the whole. That'd be great.
The one thing about the Kingsman I will say I was really happy about is Channing Tatum is only in there for like a whole 10 minutes.
Oh, good.
Yep. And I was like, well, that is delightful because I fucking hate him.
Yeah. He's still going to be Gambit at some point.
God, that's never going to happen.
That is never going to happen.
No. All right. So that is my TV. That is my movies. That's your TV and your movies. Yep. Do we want to have another beer and we'll get on to the next rant?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. We'll be back in 3. And we're back.
All right.
Okay. So before we move into comics, there's a couple other things we want to touch on real fast. One, this little, not so little thing I'm holding here.
Not so little.
The iPhone 8X.
Plus. Not X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The iPhone 8 Plus, thank you. Sorry. I was looking at the 8 and the X here.
Okay.
My second Mac device. The first was the iPad.
Uh-huh.
And now we have this.
Yes. And you've already been asking me about other products.
I have been. Oh, that reminds me. So, because I'm trying to decide between the Roku Ultra and the Apple TV.
Right.
Now, I went to you for a very specific reason. I did not know the new Roku products existed.
Yes.
So
they were actually only announced like 2 days, 3 days before you asked me this question.
So I was like, if someone's going to know, it's going to be Jay.
Right.
And you did know. And I've decided I'd rather go with the Roku Ultra.
Okay.
Given the option, I prefer the Roku Ultra.
Yeah.
The problem I'm having with the stick is the Wi-Fi on the stick's not great.
Right.
And the processing on it's kind of slow.
Very
so
slow.
if you're trying to switch from one app to another app, you're just like, oh my God, fucking shoot me.
So they do have a new version of the stick also. They upgraded the hardware on the stick and they say it's 150 times faster than, but just go with the Ultra, go with the box.
Because that also has Ethernet.
Yeah.
The one thing I then now found out is Apple is now doing original content.
Yes, but you should be able to get that, and I could be mistaken on it. Don't quote me on this. You should be able to view that on your iPad.
I can, but where's the fun in watching things on my iPad?
You stream it to your TV.
How?
You don't.
I have to go buy a fucking cable. And the cable's like $70.
No, wait. Don't you have a smart TV?
No.
No, because you have the. You can.
Yeah.
I think you can stream from your iPad to your Roku.
No, you cannot anymore. That's why they want you to do Apple TV. For your screen share is Apple TV exclusive.
I will find a solution for you. I will make this happen.
Now, granted, right now, the only original content is the Steven Spielberg show.
Yeah, which you're not going to want to watch anyway.
I really don't care that much anyways. I'm still going with the Roku Ultra.
Yeah.
Like, my decision's still made. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, the iPhone.
Okay, so let me preface whatever you're about to say.
Please do.
Since the day I met you, literally the day I met you, you have talked nothing but crap about Apple products. You now own 2 of them.
Now, I stand firm in my hatred for all those Mac fags. Oh my God, you're the fucking worst people in the world.
The fanboys are absolutely horrible.
Oh my God, I can't stand you. I've walked out of an Apple store twice. Like, I wanted to go buy something. I'm like, I can't. Like, I walked in, I'm waiting. I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy it secondhand on Amazon. I can't be in here with
buy
you
the
assholes.
Best Buy at that point.
So I have some problems.
Okay.
And I have some pros and cons.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Let's start with the cons because I'm a negative person.
Well, sure.
1, no USB support for my DAC.
Yeah. Okay. So you sent me that message. How does it not? What is the prohibiting factor? Because it's got a USB. Well, it's got.
So I plug in the Lightning to micro, and it recognizes the DAC.
Okay.
For about 30 seconds, and then a little window pops up that says this device is not supported, and then it stops it. And I have to restart my phone, and then it does it again.
Okay.
So I called Mac support, furious.
Yeah.
I hung up on Mac support, even more furious.
Yeah.
Because I went to the Apple store, and I thought, hey, I bought a secondhand cable off of Amazon. Maybe it's the cable.
Sure.
Maybe it needs to be an official Mac cable.
Yeah.
So I go up and I'm like, hey, girl, I need a micro USB to Lightning. Turns out that does not exist. They do not make one.
Micro USB.
Because that's what the DAC is.
Yeah. Oh.
They don't make one.
Yeah, no.
So then I call. She's like, hey, call support. She goes, maybe they'll have a solution. Maybe there's a setting you can change. Maybe something. So I call support. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I explain things to him. Puts me on hold. And he's like, the only thing I can find is this article. I'm like, yeah, I read that article. Because that's the only information I have available to me. I go, wait a minute. Is your only resolution the Google search? The same fucking Google search I did? He's like, well, that's the only relevant information we have. I'm like, you're telling me that you don't have a fucking technician at all who can answer this question for me? And I fucking lost my shit. Really? I'm calling you? Fuck you. I can Google shit too.
Yeah.
I'm calling you because I don't want to Google. I want you to go beyond Googling shit.
Right.
So I can still hook it up via 3.5 millimeter, which then gives me the amp feature, but not the DAC feature.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the majority of the time I don't attach my DAC to my mobile device anyways.
Sure.
95% of the time it's attached to my computer,
Right.
which works fine.
Yeah.
Small gripe. I do have some other gripes, though.
Okay.
In regards to, like, I can't set my default fucking browser.
No. Safari only.
I can open Chrome.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can use Chrome.
Yep.
But if you send me a text message with a link,
It opens in Safari.
yeah, like, fuck you.
Just like, so you can't set, I don't know if you installed Gmail on there, if they have a.
I do have Gmail.
Okay. So you can't set that as your default mail app either, can you? I know that was an issue for a long time. It had to be the Apple Mail app.
I don't know. I
was
haven't
default.
tried.
Okay.
Every time I send an email, I just open up the app and send an email.
So a lot of like the Safari, the Mail, the Calendar, you have to use those as your defaults. You can manually use other apps, but all the defaults run through because the OS is so tied into those. Yeah.
So that really annoys me.
Uh-huh.
I don't like that if I want to edit the settings for anything, I don't open the app and go to settings. I have to go to settings and then find it through there.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
My dad has an iPhone 7. He comes and asks me questions all the time. Like, let me remember how to use this. And, oh, yeah, this is inconvenient. And this is dumb. And this is crap.
Now, the reason I got it is this folder right here that I've entitled Work.
Yes.
It's all my work apps that work amazing compared to the Android OS.
Yeah.
So this Excel sheet, Microsoft Excel, I can do pivot tables and fucking reference cells and do this shit that I can't do.
Yep.
And for my job, a lot of our spreadsheets I need to look at on my phone have that.
Right.
So when I would open it in an Android, it would come up with a reference error.
Yeah.
Or it would just crash my phone altogether.
Yep. Yeah, the Office for iOS is definitely much stronger than Office for Android.
It really is. Also, we have a sync drive to access all our files on our server. On Android, I can only look at some files.
Okay.
On this, I can look at all files and I could write to it, whereas Android, I could read only.
Right.
Which is a huge benefit. So the apps are great.
Yes.
The iOS is atrocious.
Yes.
And that's what that is.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I've always said about the iPhone. Like, I'm big, I will never, well, I don't want to say never, but up until now, I will always buy a MacBook if I can for my personal computer. I will not use an iPhone because while the apps are maybe a little bit more superior as far as stability and usability because of the controlled ecosystem, there's so much other crap about the operating system I just can't stand. That being said, I'm still looking at an iPhone 8 right now.
So right now, for me, the benefits are outweighing the negative. Right. And I'm the flip side. I'm all like, as much as I really like my iPad. Love my iPad. I like the iPhone. I will never move away from a Windows OS.
Yeah.
Never.
See, and I use Windows OS for work, and I hate it.
No, never.
But so much of what I'm doing in school right now, my design work, is design this for an iPad, design this for an iPhone.
Sure.
Because it's the largest consistent device to design for.
And I get that.
So at that point, I'm like, maybe I need to just bite the bullet and have my next one be an iPhone so that I can actually run tests on everything instead of trying to find an emulator or something like that.
Like
Or make you test all my shit. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll test your shit. But the pros definitely outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
So I switched. That means I also left Google Fi.
Right.
And I switched over to Sprint.
Yes.
So I don't need to give you guys the details on that. Whatever. I've left Google Fi.
Okay, real quick, not going into the details of that. What are your thoughts on the supposed impending merger between T-Mobile and Sprint?
I have no thoughts on it.
Okay.
Like, it just is.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen, right? Like, AT&T's been trying to buddy up with somebody for a long time now. Might as well be Sprint.
T-Mobile. T-Mobile and Sprint.
What'd I say?
AT&T.
No, yeah. So T-Mobile tried to buddy up with AT&T.
Oh, yeah.
And so now they're buddying up with Sprint.
Right.
Might as well be Sprint.
The only thing that looks like it's going to prevent it from happening is if the FCC rules it an or a monopoly.
Which it won't, because they still won't. Even if you combine everything from T-Mobile and Sprint, they're still not the largest network anyways.
But more in the sense not of having
but
a
limited options.
But limited consumer options, yeah. But now we're having all this other stuff, like Metro PCS.
That's owned by T-Mobile.
It is, but it's technically a standalone because it's a prepaid service.
But it's
it's not.
Because it's not a subsidiary. It's a DBA.
Is Metro PS owned by T-Mobile
Yes.
or is it an EVDO?
Yeah, I believe it's owned directly of.
Well, still, you've got Straight Talk Wireless.
Sure.
So
you
there's
do have a lot of
EVDOs popping.
Yes.
Up,
Yes.
Okay.
So I got Google Fi. I like Google Fi. I've increasingly become more and more disappointed with Google Fi. Was not disappointed to leave.
Okay.
Just wasn't.
Fair enough.
My service drastically improved when I went to Sprint.
Okay. And, I was with Sprint for a number of years. I never had a problem with them. I only switched because they wouldn't let me switch to a lower cost plan.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous because the plan you signed up for, like I literally left Sprint 2 months ago.
Right.
The plan you signed up for, you gave me the details of it. That was like half of what I was paying. And they wouldn't let me switch.
So I found out something interesting when we did our switch to Sprint. There are Sprint stores and there's Sprint affiliate stores.
Right, like Arch Wireless and those, yeah.
Right. So even though they say Sprint and they all wear Sprint shirts, they're not Sprint stores. Right. Those people are much more willing to play ball than Sprint official.
I went to both.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because on Everett Mall Way, there's actually 2 stores. One is a Sprint store. One is a Sprint affiliate. And I went to both, and they were both like, "No, there's nothing we can do." I'm like,
"Oh, interesting."
Yeah. So.
Okay.
But whatever.
It is.
I got my sweet J3 Prime now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Last thing, kind of weird tech-wise, I'm gonna bring up is my Nintendo 3DS.
Okay.
They have stopped production on the Nintendo 3DS. They are not making it anymore.
Right.
But they are still rolling out new games.
Yes.
Which I thought was really interesting. One of those games that they just rolled out was Metroid 2, The Return of Samus.
Oh, interesting.
They redid the whole game.
Okay.
It's fucking amazing.
Oh, I might have to steal my wife's 3DS.
It is so good that I've now opted to finish this game before going back to another Switch game.
Oh, wow.
But what's blowing my mind is if you can make this game so good, how come you stop production on the 3DSs?
Well, I think it's like what we've been saying is they're essentially counting the Switch, the mobility function of the Switch, as the replacement to the 3DS now.
Yes. And they're now producing more 2DSs.
Oh, interesting.
So have you seen the new 2DS XL?
No.
It's the same size as my 3DS XL.
Okay.
Weighs half as much.
Okay.
And looks nicer.
Oh, interesting.
But it's 2D, not 3D.
Which I'm good with.
Because nobody gives a fuck about the 3D feature.
I've seen 3D. Jess keeps her 3D turned off all the time.
I have turned on my 3D once.
Yeah.
Once. So they've determined that nobody gives a fuck about the 3D. They can keep putting out these 2DSs at, I think it's only like $30 less. Okay. But their production cost is like $80 less. Yeah. Or something, not really that, but drastic.
Improving their price or their profit margin.
Exactly. So Matt and I are trying to convince ourselves not to buy 2DSs because they look so goddamn cool. And they're so much lighter.
Yeah.
In the new limited edition one, I'm just like, God damn it. I just don't have that extra scroll line around. You know how it is.
Right.
All right. That is it for me on non-comic rants.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I got anything else.
What's on your pull this week then?
So okay. Here's my comic rant.
Uh-oh.
Talking about having scratched there. I don't think we talk enough on our show about how damn expensive comics get.
May I remind you, my friend, that you are paying full price for digital, where I've switched to paying half price for physical.
I know. But you also have a comic room.
Yes.
Which I don't.
That's fair.
I have 2 shelves on
Yeah,
the bookcase.
we're looking at $3.99 an issue.
Yeah. So literally, I have today was the first time I bought comics since the last time we recorded, because I'm like, well, I don't actually have to buy them because I don't have to talk about them this week.
Okay, fair.
And even then, what I ended up buying was not the full pull list from this week.
Oh.
And not even all from this week. I actually bought 5 comics.
Okay.
So I bought Gotham City Garage 4 through 6.
Sure. Why
which are
wouldn't you?
99 cents an issue.
But it's only a third of a full size issue.
Yeah, that's true. Clue number 4, which is actually like a month old. Yeah. And then Dying in the Dead number 6.
Dying in the Dead.
Yeah, that's a Jonathan Hickman image book. So that's
what you bought?
That's it.
All right.
Everything else that came out this week and for the last couple weeks, I've just thrown on my wish list on Comixology.
And
I'll
just get it later.
Eventually.
I got Batman Detective Comics 966, Superman Action Comics 989. 989. We are so close to issue 1,000.
Yeah. They're gonna reboot and renumber before then, but
No, they're not.
No, they're not. I
already
know.
talking about
I know.
the big plans and events.
yeah, they were talking about it at NYCC this week. So
Which I've ignored all news from.
I've avoided most news from.
So I'm gonna throw this out after I get through my list. So Flash 32, Hal Jordan the Green Lantern Corps number 30, Red Hood and the Outlaws number 15, Birthright 27, Daredevil 27,
Interesting.
Wildstorm Michael Cray number 1. I love the tagline of this episode because sometimes murder is the right thing to do.
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
I'm in. The Family Trade by Justin Jordan. Previews number 349. And the book I'll talk about, Ragman number 1.
Wow, Ragman, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what the fuck was I just about to rant about? New York Comic Con.
Oh, yeah.
So, I saw Blade Runner 2049.
Right.
I never saw a single trailer for it.
Okay.
I knew nothing about it. I went in completely blind.
Sure.
And it dawned on me how much I enjoyed that.
Yeah, right?
To the point of I almost don't want to watch trailers before movies anymore.
Yeah.
So people are saying, hey, did you watch this trailer for this movie? Did you watch it? No. You know why? I don't want anything. I want to see the first time I see that to be in the movie.
Here's that works for a vast majority of things that we go see in theaters. The problem is there's oftentimes where I don't know about a movie or that I'd be interested in it without seeing the trailer. So that's that catch-22.
It is a catch-22. I agree.
Obviously, movies like Justice League, I don't have to see a trailer. I'm going to go see it.
Exactly.
But as far as these things that aren't necessarily right in my wheelhouse, like I have to watch the trailer.
And for that, I agree with you on, right? Like, and that was my example is Justice League. Don't give me a trailer. You know why? Because I'm gonna go fucking watch it
right.
anyways.
Yeah.
I don't need this. So with that, you're like New York news, this news, and I've decided, no, I don't follow the news. I don't know. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm gonna see it when I see it, and I'm gonna be like, I'm in.
Okay. Does that go with your comics also?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I noticed a copy of Preview sitting right there, which is essentially the trailers of comic books.
Yes and no, because I do go through my previews. Unlike most people, I don't read the descriptions of the previews.
Okay.
I literally will just see Action Comics 966.
Okay.
And either say yay or nay.
Okay.
The benefit of reading comic books is I've learned how to not read regular print. I need pictures, right? So I see a paragraph. I'm like, I don't even read that shit anymore. I just read this part and I ignore the rest.
Okay, fair enough.
So I do use my previews to go through to find new, like you'd say, it's the new titles I may not have ever heard of, and then therefore I'm interested in. So I use previews to find out new books. Like, I would have never picked up Ragman #1.
I don't think you should have picked up Ragman.
Dude, Ragman #1 was amazing.
Okay.
It was so good. But you know what I mean? Like, there's been a couple books where, like, I kind of breeze through the DC section, but I'll pay attention to the Image. I'll pay attention to the Dark Horse.
Sure.
Or what I call the Green, which is all the independent publishers.
Okay.
That's what my previews is for.
See, reading digitally, I don't have to read previews because I just go through everything that was released that day.
And that's just it. Like, so for those books, so let's use Realm #1, for instance.
Okay.
I did not pre-order Realm #1 through previews. So when I wanted to get it, I haven't been in my comic store in 2 weeks. I've been traveling.
Right.
They're like, man, that has gone to second print. Or some of it's like, nope, sorry, sold out. We can't get it again.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, damn it. Which is where the previews comes in, so I don't have that problem.
Right. Yeah.
There's a copy waiting for
Yeah.
me.
And that was definitely one of those things when I first got rid of my pull box and there were still 4 or 5 titles that were in print that I was getting. I was like, I got to make sure I get there. And, you know, I mean, luckily I'd been going to the shop for like 10 years. So they kind of knew, like, okay, I know you don't have a box, but we'll make sure that we kind of hold one for you. Whereas now I'm like, if I ever want to print comic, I'm out of luck.
Right. Whereas, so my first order has been submitted through Discount Comic Book Services.
Right.
So for last month's previews, if it wasn't one of my regular pulls, it all went through them.
Okay.
Including my trade paperbacks.
And I hear, I don't know if you had to do this yet. Have you talked to their customer service yet?
Yes, it's
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right. So I hear stories where people, like, they'll put in their previews orders or whatever, and they'll miss something in, you know, a week or two before the books actually ship. They can be like, oh, hey, I forgot. Can you just add this? And I'm like, yeah, no problem. So that's cool.
Like, I sent them a message. I was like, hey, I tried to place this order twice. Both times it came back with an error. Can you help me out? And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I see it here pending. I don't know what that error code is. I'm going to force it through, and I'm giving you 5% off for having reached out to me.
Wow.
And I'm like, I love you. I love you.
Now, if only they would do digital. That would save me a lot of money. And anyways, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, which is funny. So, what I bought at the comic store this time for the past 3 weeks, no trades, just single issues, equaled my entire month's order from Discount Comic Supplies, including my trades.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Right?
So, essentially, now all these #1s will be phased out, you know, and it's just my weekly pulls.
Right.
So, what do you want to talk about?
All right. So, obviously, I only read a couple books. Gotham City Garage. I know you roll your eyes at this.
I do.
It is a great fucking book.
Is it still saying strong?
Oh, it's so good. So Batman in this world is bad.
Sure.
He actually killed Jim Gordon.
I'm on board with the logic so far.
Barbara Gordon is working with Batman because she doesn't realize that he's necessarily a bad guy. And Kara is adopted into the Gordon family.
Kara Gordon. Okay.
Yeah. So Kara gets out of this little city. She's off with the Mad Max type people right now.
Sure.
Batman shows Barbara some doctored footage that shows Kara killing Jim Gordon. So now she's out to go kill her sister.
Snap.
Does
she know it's her sister?
Well, yeah, they were raised as like.
But what I mean is, like, is Batgirl's identity secret? So.
Oh, no, because it's not even Batgirl.
It's just Barbara? Okay.
Yeah. And then in one of the issues, we find out that Harley Quinn, before she became Harley Quinn, when she was still Quinzel, Dr. Quinzel, actually helped Lex Luthor develop the technology to brainwash everybody. And then she rebelled against it and actually took one of the patients who she had fallen in love with, and now that's the Joker.
Interesting.
But it's a whole different Joker. It's, to me, and I said this before, it is very much a, obviously non-canon, very like Elseworlds type story. And I think what they're doing with the characters is interesting. And this is one of those things that we see them all the time try to like, oh, well, we're going to reinvent a character in the mainstream, in the canon, and they're going to be this now, they're going to be that, and we're going to reboot things, and people get pissed off. This is this very contained world that they can do whatever the fuck they want, and it doesn't affect anything else.
Which I like.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I always liked about the Elseworlds stories.
Sure.
So I think in that sense, it's really entertaining. You've got Red Hood showed up in one of the issues, and he was the leader of another biker gang in the Outlands, and all. it was cool. I like it.
Okay.
And
Nice.
for 99 cents an issue, I'm not gonna
Yeah, you
complain.
can't go bad there. Who's writing it?
Fuck if I know.
Okay. Like sometimes those digitals are actually written by someone of notoriety. Sometimes it's not. Like the Bombshells was Marguerite Bennett, who
Right.
is of notoriety.
Yeah. I feel like it is somebody that is of notoriety.
Okay.
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I am Googling it right now.
You actually call Apple support and they'll Google for you.
Yo, jeez. Funny, but it's true.
I know, right?
My very cursory Google search is not actually giving me the author on the search
No problem.
page. So, whatever. I enjoy it. I think it's good. I think there's only supposed to be like 6 issues. And this was, 8 issues, I think. And this was issue 6. So we don't have that.
Well,
much
that's the way
longer.
Injustice started. Was a small series. People liked it. They kept going with it. Like, who knows?
Yeah, and that's very possible. It is Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, who I'm not familiar
Nope,
with.
not familiar with either of them.
Brian Ching doing art, Raphael Albuquerque doing the cover.
Okay, that's cool. Albuquerque does great covers.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's good artwork.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I recommend it if you read digital comics. Pick it up, 99 cents an issue. It's nothing.
I might.
Yeah,
I might.
I really just need it. I know I keep saying it. I
Just
need
give
to
me
give
your
you my
Comixology.
login, and then you just go in there and see all of it anyways.
Yeah, but then we end up seeing stuff like Zombie Tramp #1 and all this weird stuff.
I can make that disappear.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's a hide fefeature.
Yeah.
Yeah, like incognito.
That's my throwaway account.
Smart to
that's-
have
yeah.
the two. Smart
Yeah.
to have the two.
That's that's a Reddit throw. Okay. Anyways,
So, Ragman #1.
what the fuck are you worried? Oh, jeez. Okay. To be fair, my biggest exposure to Ragman is on Arrow, and it's kind of a lame character.
So, what is it in Arrow?
It's a guy that has a mystical set of rags, essentially, that he can control. So he can like shoot a rag out, Spidey style, and
Okay.
like wrap things up and.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's also tied into like demonic powers and all this other stuff. Not on Arrow.
They say mystical powers. They don't necessarily
Okay.
get into demonic powers. And the guy's dead now anyway, so it doesn't matter.
So Ray Fox, who is known for doing more of the trippy mystical stuff, the
Right.
Justice League, Justice League Mystical, the Constantine, whatnot, did Ragman #1. So I was intrigued. I really liked it.
Okay.
So as a retelling and a reorigin, they're like, hey, it's a whole new Ragman. So the book takes place, starts out 6 months ago. He's in the military with a group of guys in the Middle East,
Okay.
and they hear about this tomb that has a bunch of gold in it. So they're going to go raid it. They cleared it all out. They go to do the raid. He's the bomb specialist who's breaking the walls. They open it up, and it's empty. And they start getting attacked by these demon characters. And then it cuts forward to now. He's back. He's going through PTSD. He's got all these like support groups. You find out he's the only guy who survived in his whole group,
Okay.
his whole platoon. So then one of the demons attacks him. He gets thrown from the window. He gets covered in these rags, and then like he starts hearing voices. So all the dead guys are talking to him. So I know in the original Ragman, like each one of the rags was symbolic of somebody who had died. So like he had all their different knowledge and all their information and all
Okay.
this. So now he's getting attacked by these demons, and that's where the issue ended.
Okay.
I thought it was a lot of fun. Like I enjoyed it. I liked it well enough. I think it is kind of silly that you do, like you said, you're covered in rags. You, like kind of like
Yeah.
a mummy, kind of not like a mummy.
Right.
But you also got super strength and these
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
agility stuff. But I'm hoping that it'll all kind of come together and explain itself out better than Arrow.
Like I said, he's dead, so I don't
He's
have to worry
dead.
about it
There
now.
you
So.
So yeah, speaking of Arrow, I hear the new crossover has a wedding.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, that's all I know. That there's some sort of wedding.
I mean, I know there. Well, it's supposed to be Crisis on Infinite Worlds or something.
Whatever.
Yeah. One thing I did forget to mention. I don't remember. Were you a fan of the Constantine show?
Yes.
Okay. So they have confirmed that Constantine will make an appearance in season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow,
Oh, interesting.
and it's gonna be Matt Ryan. So
Oh,
it's
I
gonna
like
be
that.
it's gonna be the actual actor. So they're gonna bring him in at some point. So
I'm really hoping he shows up on Lucifer. Like, that to me just makes sense.
Yeah.
Except you got a Fox show and you have a
I know.
CW show, and that's where...
Yeah. There was a big article that I read this morning about why is Marvel on so many channels? Is it at the detriment of themselves? Because now you've got Marvel on ABC.
Yeah.
You've got Marvel on Fox.
Yes.
You got Marvel on Netflix, obviously.
That agreement's in the rocks right now.
Okay. Then you got Marvel on Hulu now.
Oh yeah, with
Runaways, which hasn't premiered yet, but I'm excited to check it out. So the whole thing was, they're in so many places. Are they expanding too much? And if somebody wants to follow all of the Marvel shows, that means they've got to pay for cable, and they've got to pay for Netflix, and now they've got to pay for Hulu. So I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Most of the people that are watching the Marvel shows probably already have all those services or ways to access that content.
Or Hulu. Like, you only need Hulu for all of it. Except for the Netflix ones.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know anybody who has Hulu who doesn't have Netflix.
Yeah.
Which is weird. I know, super tangent, then I swear we're going to be done. I know people who have Netflix who don't have Hulu.
But you don't know anybody that has Hulu that doesn't have Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
So that's my thought for the week.
I mean, I got Netflix and Hulu and Prime. So
well, same here, but we're different. In fact, I'm going to hang up here. I'm going to show you YouTube Live.
I'm interested to see that.
We'll talk to you guys next week.
No.
Oh, right. I have a wedding next week.
You will not be here next week.
We'll talk to you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.